Hello, my name is Connie Wilson, and I am pleased to present one of my favorite books, Out of the Dust by Karen Hesse, published by Scholastic in 1997, for your consideration as historical fiction. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the author, why it qualifies for this week's genre, and why I chose it. A little about Karen Hesse, the author. She was born in Maryland and graduated from the University of Maryland with a bachelor's in English and double minors in psychology and anthropology. She's now married, has two daughters, and lives in Vermont. She began writing poetry in college. All of her work received rejection notices until she did some hospice training and began to really understand people and then can be able to convey them in her writing. And then her work was published. As a new mom, she had a job typesetting children's books and realized that she could write better. Over the course of her career, Karen Hesse has written and published numerous picture books as well as juvenile chapter books. Amongst her awards are the Newbery Medal and the Scott Odell Award for Historical Fiction, both for Out of the Dust, received in 1998. She was also a MacArthur Fellows Program winner in 2002. This is called the Genius Grant, and she's the second ever for children's literature to be awarded this. And I didn't know anything about it, so I looked it up, and it is a big pile of money. When she won it in 2002, it was $500,000 spread out over 5 years. And you don't apply for this award. You're secretly nominated, and you don't find out about it until you get the phone call saying that you've won. And it's not an award or a prize for your past work, but it's an investment in your future, and it's a great honor. As a young mom, Karen organized a writers group in Vermont. While working on a picture book called Come On Rain, which was eventually published in 1999, her writers group insisted that she elaborate on why her characters wanted rain so badly. She said she began researching times when people desperately wanted rain, and Out of the Dust blossomed into existence. When writing, she researches and calls experts and sometimes takes temp jobs to understand what her characters are going through. For Out of the Dust, she contacted the Oklahoma Historical Society and went and read microfilms of obscure newspapers of that period. And then she contacted experts specifically to make sure that the weather patterns and the rain that she mentions in the book reacted accurately. She usually chooses photos to represent the characters in her story, and she keeps the photos on her desk as she writes. The photo on the cover of Out of the Dust is from the Library of Congress Prints and Photos Division, Farm Security Administration collection, and it's entitled Lucille Burroughs, Hale County, Alabama, Summer 1936 by Walker Evans. I love Out of the Dust for the distinctive poetic prose style that Karen Hesse pioneered. It's a coming-of-age story of Billy Joel, who is 14, and it really brings the struggles of the Dust Bowl to life. Its succinct writing is so good at showing and not telling. And the book has themes of responsibility and hope and forgiveness amid the endless dust and tragedy of the 1930s. And it also has great nuances as Billy Joel works out her relationship with her father. This book qualifies for historical fiction, for modern realistic fiction, and for poetry. And notice it seems like a thick book, but it's actually a pretty quick read because it has a lot of white space, and I was able to read the entire book in 90 minutes. It's not necessarily a good read aloud book unless you have a heart of stone and you don't cry much. I personally couldn't do it. And I chose this book is because in doing family history, I know that my husband's family all began in Arkansas and then settled and died in California, and they were likely migrant farmers that experienced these dust storms and trials because all the dates match up, and it helps me to understand what they went through. So Get a tissue and read it. I highly recommend this book. Thank you.